Greetings everyone, Reform UK, fight or flight? It seems that the Richard Tice bombshell Ratner moment has not subdued. On the contrary, it has gathered momentum. We all know that insulting patriots, be they supporters of Tommy Robinson or not, was not just unwise, it was political suicide, considering that most of them are, or rather were, Reform UK supporters. In my opinion, Reform UK does not belong to Nigel Farage or Richard Tice. It belongs to all the hard-working candidates, and most importantly, it belongs to you, the voters. My greatest issue immediately after the election was the lack of any immediate move to democratise, and what we have been presented with so far is not a democratic constitution. There is still a long way to go. I understand the explanation by Nigel that the party would have been at risk of a takeover by the left if it democratised too early, but now that the membership has grown considerably, it is high time that the party were handed over to the people, and if necessary, the people should decide who stays and who goes, whoever they may be. The dilemma being that those of us who wish to fight for our country are now torn between our quest to free our nation and the media war against anyone who dares to contradict the narrative, which has been exacerbated by the insulting words by Richard Tice on Sunday. This is not about division between supporters. We are all fighting for the same principles, or should be, but conversely, angry, frustrated and genuinely patriotic people have clearly been insulted. This is on top of the fact that Nigel Farage declared that he was going to be writing to over 1,000 Conservative councillors to ask them to consider moving over to Reform. Whilst there is no problem with those who have genuinely decided that the Tories are not for them, like Lee Anderson, who moved over ages ago with no guarantee that he would be able to hold on to his seat. But as far as I'm concerned, pandering to sitting Tories is yet another indication that this is about a vendetta and not the best interests of Reform UK. There are candidates up and down the country who are sat twiddling their thumbs with no idea where they stand. They are all, for the time being, in the position of spokespersons, and in the meantime, some of those who have dared to post anything supporting Tommy Robinson have been suspended. All this at a time when every constituency should have a democratically elective, prospective parliamentary candidate to be the voice of opposition for the members and voters. 650 constituencies with leadership and a collective voice is a formidable force, one that is desperately needed. The question now is, where do we go from here? If we allow ourselves to be fractured, the centre-right will be divided further, and the only beneficiary will be this insidious administration. However, on the other hand, we cannot be expected to support a party that has insulted such a large percentage of their supporters. As I have said, the fight, the party and the political brand does not belong to any one or group of individuals. But for this to work in practice, it is you, the supporters, members and voters, who should make the decision. The only way that any leadership can be kept on the straight and narrow, be they in office or not, is if they are accountable to the people, and the leadership of Reform UK are not. Therefore, we need to make a decision as soon as possible. Are we going to allow our cause to be fractured at the most politically threatening time in our history, or are we going to stand our ground, take the fight to Reform UK, take control of our party and set our sights on the future collectively? Reform UK is the umbrella for British patriots. No individual is greater than the party, and those who are a threat to all the hard work getting here, and in that regard, if new faces are required to continue the fight, then that is exactly what we must insist upon. Thank you very much. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Bye bye for now, and see you next time.